The founder and chairman, Board of Trustees, New Nigerian People's Party, Dr. Boniface Aniebunam, has said that the party would deliver good and quality leadership that will transform the lives of the people of Nigeria, and that these are not really rocket science, but it's also about the willingness to do the right thing.
Look at all these impediments and remove them, all these human barriers that create problems and remove them. Issue of marginalization of that will be unbundled in line with the federal character. Most of the things you see going on is done out of frustration. People are frustrated. A leader with honor, integrity, a leader that has what it takes. I told you people the other day, there are a lot of things. We have so much for our country. A leader that stays out of corrupt behavior. Take me, for instance, again. For the past 21 years, I have been in NNPP. I have not joined APC, I have not joined PDP. Or do you think if I go there, I will not find my way? You must come in now. I had wished, the most unfortunate, that Kwankwaso and P2B combined. It would have been perfect. Because these two people are both born. Spiritual leader of the party, I'm the chairman board of trustees of the party. I am here to give direction to them on how to go about this. We don't really want any situation that can create hatred. That's not the point. The point is a Nigeria of our dreams. Yeah. It is a collective responsibility on the part of INEC and those who have interest in the forthcoming election, either as a party or as an individual. As regards the role or the effort on the part of New Nigerian People's Party, of course, that responsibility is the main, because you need to power those who will vote for you. And that means that the election is about commitment, participation, sacrifice, hard work, on and on. And then what will now lead you further will be the type of clients and the type of, aspirant that you are. To what extent is it popular? And every indication is showing right now that this general election is not likely to be based on political party. It's likely to be on individual merits. Now, what I think is not add up. But then, if you want to beat a champion, you have to walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. They are the establishments. PDP and APC have been an establishment and they've been in power. And they are rooted. Members of these political parties have, to a large extent, benefited from the dividend of democracy, being in power. And you cannot compare them with other political parties. And remember that there are 18 political parties duly registered in Nigeria today. 2 of them is outstanding. The others, one or the other, they are still doing what they thought is the best they can do to their float. Now, any of the parties that you see that is in existence must have won an elective position. If you did not win elective position, you would have been deregistered. Okay? Now, come down to New Nigerian People's Party. New Nigerian People's Party is as old as 2001. Till death, that's about 21 years. It's not a new political party. And if you recall that the first set of political parties that were registered, PDP, NNPP, New Nigerian People's Party, and all that. At that point in time, you must cover 2/3 of the federation before you can be registered. You must establish offices and presence. in at least 2/3 of the federation with an office in Abuja. And New Nigeria People's Party merited that consideration, hence the registration, as opposed to what you get before the NNPP put up a kind of barricade. So the issue you are asking, the spread of the New Nigeria People's Party has been in existence, all right? But what you must understand is that politics is about interest. It's about who gets what and where and where. And if you are asking somebody to join New Nigeria People's Party or any other political parties other than APC or PDP, questions will be asked. What will be my interest? What will be my interest? Of course, it's normal to ask such questions. And so you find out that people find it difficult, based on what might be their interest, to join political parties other than APC and PDP. But the event has changed. Society is dynamic. With the situation on ground, the greater number of Nigerians are no longer comfortable because they have tasted our sister political parties in the past 16 years or thereabout. And Nigerians are thinking differently. Okay? I guess that is the question you're asking now. Now, it's nobody's game now because of the state of the nation. So, great minds are coming up. And you could see that New Nigerian People's Party right now, with the emergence of Senator Kwankwaso as a very credible person, somebody that has honor and integrity, with the background of former Minister of Defense, two-time governor, ambassador, senator, and all that, with the large followership. The track record is unbelievable, cutting across the entire nation. And that's why, as soon as he announced himself in New Nigeria People's Party, there was a surge. So it's an end honor. And that is the build-up, what Nigerians are looking forward to. Seeing very credible people, and as it were. And one thing I must say here now is that I think Nigerians should begin to appreciate people like Senator Kwankwaso. You know why? He is a chieftain of PDP, chieftain of APC. Is it not right? Yet he picked up courage to forgo those platforms and decided to test his popularity in Nigeria under New Nigeria People's Party. And you can see the followership there. So it's a revolution. That is aside from the divine call. Aside from the divine call, and which is the major factor now that he has to come forward to lead Nigeria. All right? So this is what is going for New Nigeria People's Party right now. And I still want to say that you must understand this. That is just primary election we have gone into, which is an internal occurrence in the political party. We have not gone into campaign. It is when we go into campaign that we begin to do the ratings. So we are being called the third force. And for me, as the founder of New Nigeria People's Party, it's neither here nor there. It doesn't make sense to me. We are not a third force to anybody. We are not even an opposition to anybody. I think I said that the other day. We are not here to oppose anybody. We are here to be responsible partners. And I have always said that, see, what is important is a greater Nigeria. Nigerians want to live a good life. Nigeria wants to be happy. And so it's as simple as ABC that the issue of opposition does not come in. In my own person, I want to believe that the election could divide us, but the economy should unite us. Once the election is all over, support the government. Even if you have something to add, find a word sending it to them, that taking to the street or taking to the media to say all sorts of things. And it has not been nice, as far as I'm concerned, that in the name of opposition, we don't seem to see anything good about any of us. Even when government does something that's right, even if you cannot acknowledge them, forget about it. If you think there is something you can find a word, or wait, like now election is coming, and then we go out, and so that we can stay away from all this violence and all that. The PDP, the APC, within an internal arrangement, they agreed upon themselves, to zone power. And the Southeast, in all honesty, are not being fairly treated within the bracket of APC. Now, what does this translate to? If within themselves they've agreed that the power should go to the South, it is a right thinking for somebody who is in sound mind to understand that the Southwest have had it, the South have had it, it should be the Southwest. And now we are witnesses to what happened. But that is the beauty of democracy. And I think it's important to be a gentleman at all time because you need to relate to people. Aside from these two political parties, the other 16 political parties, NNPP and others, they've not had power. They don't even know what you're talking about zoning. They don't even understand. You know, for instance, even when we know it's an unconstitutional thing in the platform, okay? I'm talking of the Constitution, all right? Our interest now is how do we provide Nigeria with leadership, having seen what has happened in the two establishments. All right? Now, come back to the question you are asking. You have to look at the mood of the nation. Look at the mood of the nation. The Nigerian people want leadership. That's what they want now. And if you want to unbundle these questions you are asking, can you rightly say that those people who have been in power, if you look at the issue of developmental, occurrences, could you say they are better? So what are you fighting for? I don't want to call anybody in a bit. We're all Nigerians. If you look at those who have been head of state, go back to even their own state or their town and see whether there's anything different. Just so it doesn't add up. What Nigerian people want now, particularly the youths, the youths are feeling something is wrong. Their future seems not to be in good hands, and that's why they are reacting. And that reaction will end up to the extent they will participate, making use of what? Their PVC. To choose or to elect who leads them. What you want to hear does not go well with somebody like me, and it's not my mind now to discuss on. We have agreed that it must be one Nigeria. Yes, the more the merrier. So why can't we sit down and talk? Kwankwaso is going to provide that platform.
Okay, sir.
Yes, please. Unity, first of all, has to start with us. Of the nation. Take for instance. Let me use Anambra for instance. Where I come from. It's not a difficult thing. They much talk about state police or local vigilante. It is simple and ABC for you to understand that if the governor goes out as the chief secretary of the state, invites the chiefs or the agents of each town, the president general of the town, and give them a marching order to profile everybody under their domain. The people you are referring to are living with you, and you know them. So what you needed is for government to give you a backup. If you get down to every village, every person living in any village is known in that enclave. Whatever you do, people know. The only thing is that people might be afraid to say you are a bad boy because they do not know if they say so, what might be the repercussion. That's another angle. But when the government is in front and you are assured, the criminals will be fished out. If you go to the bush to operate, then the government has all it takes to get into that bush and march you. Do you understand? It's not difficult. Then you look at the issue of the territorial boundaries of Nigeria. Is it that again problem? Yes, the Nigeria largest parts, the borders are porous. We have known about that. But now that we have gotten to this level, our country is not as big as China, it's not as big as America and all that, even though there are occurrences that has to be minimal. Therefore, our borders need to be properly protected. There are, instruments, modern instruments to police your border. I mean, something difficult now. But sometimes the money you are going to use to do all this type of thing are money that one person or two will drop the money. But you can see the level of frustration now that the government is. You don't need any person to tell you that. We all know what the problem is all about. We are not united, and that's why you have these infiltrations. We're all suspecting ourselves. That is the basic thing I am advocating, that we need to bring Nigerians together. Let them know that they are brothers and sisters. Leadership will provide it. Insecurity is not about what you thought. But however, the Constitution is very clear. The authority and the power of the government to protect life and property. But of course, we must be in partnership with Nigerians. And that's why they say, you see something, you say something. The operatives are not God. They cannot know everything. And so this will take us into the subject matter, patriotism.
The new Nigerian People's Party was formed in 2001 and has remained resilient in meeting the requirements of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), especially in maintaining structures in two-thirds of the federation. Joy Enamuna, Seabed TV.